Hi guys, this is Rob from Access. I'm joined by Nick, who's producer on FIFA 14, and I want to talk about a PS4 a little bit because everyone's got it on PS3. They're all really enjoying FIFA 14. What is PS4 going to offer that is, that little bit more special?
Yeah, I mean, before we do that, I just think it's important to point out, because this is different to potentially than other transitions, is all the great cool features, all the major features that are on PlayStation 3 are also on PlayStation 4. We haven't always seen fully featured games in the first year in a new transition. So really important to make that point. And then on top of that, we really wanted to innovate in a number of key areas, especially in gameplay. And we wanted to really try and rework how presentation worked within FIFA to give you the feeling of, playing something like you never experienced in FIFA before. So what we're doing is we're using the EA Sports Ignite engine to do that, and we're innovating in 3 key areas. We call them human intelligence, true player motion, and the living world. Human intelligence is really about using the power of the PlayStation 4 to use the extra horsepower to do a lot more calculations, about 4 times the calculations we've previously done in our physics system. What that means is players can now have real anticipation and awareness of what's going on around them. So previously, if you were to run into me in the game, physics would take over, it would look great, but I didn't really have that anticipation of what was coming. So now, if you run into me, I could brace for impact. If you try and tackle me in the game, I will actually maybe try and ride that tackle. And then where it's really working, to really change the game in a big way, is those physical interactions between 2 players. So as we jostle for the ball, it also means that I can now use body position to try and win back the ball from you. So we're not as reliant on tackle, and it's really changed the feeling of the game. Within the true player motion, we've completely reworked how precision movement works. So, players now, you see every step. There's that biomechanical movement from one as players transfer weight. And then we have what we call elite technique, which is hundreds and hundreds of new animations that not only give variety but change the feeling of the game. So previously, we'd only have 2 or 3 tackle animations. Now we have crossfield passes. We have through balls, we have chip lob through balls, we have little outside of the foot passes, touch passes. What this does is it really helps that synergy between, pressing the button for a pass and looking and feeling what you see to create a much more fluid feel to the game. We've also got new shooting, new heading, chest passes. You can also now have multiple players going up to try and win the ball. And then within the living world, it was creating that atmosphere and feel to feel like it was real. And there's a number of key elements to this. The first is the crowd. We've never been able to do a 3D crowd before. We just didn't have the power to do it. When you had to get 90,000 people in a crowd, it's very, very difficult to do it. We're running the game now at 1080p. It's at 60 frames a second. We just didn't have the processing power to do that on the HD console. So the crowd is just making such a huge change to the game. You've got that contrast of excitement and disappointment when a goal is scored, and you really see it. So to complement that, we've completely changed the default camera. It's lower, brings the crowd into the scene. We've now completely reworked all the replay cameras, so they're authentic to broadcast. We can now show replays of skill moves. We show replays of great tackles. And we've also got what we call match flow, where we can now the game is always running. So all of our presentation now is being driven by the AI, which makes it much more dynamic. We're not reliant on repetitive scripted sequences. So huge changes that really takes both gameplay and presentation to another level within FIFA.
I saw the PS4 version. One thing I noticed straight away was I got a corner and he put the ball down. Yeah. And I got another corner. It's like a completely different animation from the corner, and it's just like those little things that kind of really enhance the whole presentation. It makes you feel like you're watching Sky Sports, that kind of thing you were going for.
Exactly. We wanted to, in the past we might have looked at where can we put a camera? Will that be cool? And what we wanted to do now is go back and look, what do you see when you're watching the game on TV? How do we kind of replicate that? And that was really the inspiration, is something that you're used to seeing is now being replicated within the game.
And what have you got for Ultimate Team on PS4? What's in the works for that?
So on PlayStation 4 for Ultimate Team, all of the new features that we created on PlayStation 3, so they've got new chemistry styles, they're all in there. The other great thing is that the auction market is shared across PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. So if you bought items on PlayStation 3, they'll be carried over to PlayStation 4, really to make it as immersive as possible. You make that world that you're in within Ultimate Team as big as we can.
You mentioned a little bit of connection between PS3 and PS4 there. Obviously, there's a huge install base on PS3 still. A lot of people are going to be playing the PS3 version. What kind of other things can they do with their mates on PS4?
We've got FIFA Ultimate Team. We're also carrying over your division and seasons, carrying over your online virtual pro. There's items within Football Club that will be carried over as well as your level and XP. So, really cool the way we're trying to transition people that have played PlayStation 3 so they're not completely starting from scratch on PlayStation 4.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Nick. That is FIFA 14 out now on PS3, coming very soon on PS4, so make sure you check it out.